Hello, my name is Johan and welcome to my video about Brexit. So what is Brexit? In 1973, the UK joined the EU in its first enlargement. This happened under the conditions of a special status for the kingdom. This was often expanded, for example, when the euro was introduced. When the migration crisis hit Europe, the British Prime Minister David Cameron also tried another expansion. To enforce this, he threatens the EU with a referendum. This threat was executed on June 23, 2016. It was a close result, but a slight majority voted leaving the EU. Why would you leave the EU? The UK contributed yearly £8.6 billion in 2016 to Brussels. Over to this, the EU takes a lot of freedoms and trade from Britain and power from its people. Almost 3 million workers from other EU countries are in the UK in the year 2016. Also want to regain power over their own borders. Many Britons still dream about a superpower status in their country. So what would oppose a Brexit? First of all, the UK needs import from the EU. They have a negative trade balance of almost £2.71 billion. And almost 50% of their trade is with the EU, £160 billion. The EU also avoided Britain's involvement in any bigger European war since 1945. Brexit also costs jobs as many companies move their quarters into the EU. This will also lead to a decline of London's financial influence. Loss in economic power is already visible, like shown in this graph. So let's talk about the referendum itself. Total 51.9% voted to leave the EU. The map shows the contribution of the voters inside the UK. Scotland and Northern Ireland opposed Brexit. Especially in rural Welsh and English areas, voters voted to leave. This table supports the contribution of rural and urban voters inside the UK. Of the 10 biggest cities, only 2 voted to leave. The UK's second biggest city, Birmingham, and Manchester. Combine the results of the listed cities, only 38% voted to leave. London, 40% supported to leave. In comparison to the urban results, here are the rural areas. Of the 19 least populated councils, 13 voted to leave. The remaining councils are 4 Scottish councils and the Isle of Sicily. And of course, the city of London, located right here. This brings us to London. In the British capital, especially the densely populated centre wanted to remain. The less populated outskirts wanted to leave. In a nutshell, Scotland and London had a big majority of over 60% voting to remain. In Northern Ireland, it were also 55%. In Wales, just 52% voted to leave. But a majority of the densely populated England voted to leave with 54%. Birmingham, just over 50% wanted to leave the EU. But what happened after the referendum? June 24th, Cameron steps back from office. Theresa May, a Brexit supporter, takes Prime Minister. From this summer on, the pound starts a rapid decline compared to the euro. March 2017. Theresa May announces Article 50. Any member may decide to withdraw from the Union in accordance to its constitutional requirements. Brexit begins. March 22, 2017. EU Commission marks guidelines for negotiating the rights of the citizens, financial future, Northern Irish border and the divorce bill. This is the base for the negotiation and the critical points of it. 8th, 2017. After the election in the UK, a new majority government of May's party is formed. This lowers the chances of a deal. The election also reflects the Brexit referendum. To expand the negotiation time, a transition time is created by the Council of the European Union. The deal is still far away and a no-deal scenario is started to be considered. On November 14, 2018, first progress of the negotiation is announced by the EU. Now the UK Parliament has to vote on the proposal. January 15, 2019, Parliament rejects the proposal. The vote results in 432 to 202. Like this, the House of Commons blows away Theresa May's deal. On March 29, 2019, Brexit will be executed and the transition time starts. The time of the script, March 16, 2019. No one knows what's gonna happen. To be continued.